I've been thinking a lot about what to say today, and I have to say that, quite frankly, it's been a bit challenging and intimidating. Educators are actually kind of a daunting crowd, and usually what I do in situations like this is I do a hands-on activity to break the ice. So maybe everyone would just balance 3 or 4 pieces of silverware or glasses or cutlery just to keep the creative juices flowing, and then I'll feel a little more comfortable. But I did realize that a good way to start was with the easy thing, which is to say thank you. This is a tremendous honor, and I'm very appreciative of sort of being recognized in this way, and really that there is an award that looks at celebrating innovation in education and innovation in the education of innovation. So anyway, I think it's a wonderful thing. I'd also like to thank my students. These are the people who take the seeds of what we try to plant in the classroom and put it into action, taking ideas and creating impact. And so I'm very grateful to all the students who I've had the fortune to interact with over the years. I'd also like to say thank you, Madase, Jam, Gracias, Ofoyo, and Zikomo, to the many wonderful, wonderful people who we work with in Ghana, Zambia, Nicaragua, Uganda, who teach our students about community, humanity, and hospitality, and who show that intelligence is not the same as education, and that creativity and genius live in all corners of the world. Also to my colleagues at D-Lab, who have shared so generously in the vision and the journey of what D-Lab has become. It's a group that's a joy to work with, and it's constantly finding ways to creatively and constructively challenge ourselves to make the work we do better. And every day I arrive at work and I get to the door and I open it knowing that I like everyone inside the building. And I wonder, what are we going to do today? And that's a great way to arrive at the door every morning. If you'll forgive me sort of the luxury, I also want to thank my parents, both of whom were great teachers, and although they're no longer with me, they're always with me. And from them I learned that hard work and enthusiasm are just the tools of the trade, and faith in your students is a necessary condition to being a good teacher. Thank you to NCIIA, the Lemelson Foundation, and Olympus, and to the kind people who nominated me for this. I especially like to thank Phil and Jennifer. Phil, who exemplifies how a grant maker can use his position to really enact change. I mean, I'm incredibly impressed at the number of things that Phil has started and given us the ability to do to change the way that we work, to change the way that entrepreneurship and development are taught. So. And then to Jennifer as well, who brings such humanity and good humor to the process and never loses sight of the purpose of the program. So thank you to all of those people. At last year's luncheon, 2 of the awardees sort of distilled their remarks into a list of 4 things. Well, we're downsizing, and I have 3 things that I wanted to share. And they're really just 3 quotes that I come across and that I wanted to comment on. And the first is one that I came across last week as I was trying to wrap up a presentation I was doing at another conference, and it is by Thomas Edison. And he said, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is wearing overalls and it looks a lot like work." I like that one. You know, as entrepreneurs, we view challenges as opportunities. And there are so many challenges in the world today. Access to safe drinking water and sanitation, indoor air pollution, which kills more young children than anything else in the world, the lack of equity and justice in this country and around the world, issues of climate change, and particularly how it affects vulnerable populations, access to electricity, to education, to information. There are countless opportunities out there, and they are dressed in overalls, in ketenges, and in saris, and they look like work. So we must roll up our sleeves and get to it. As educators, we must inspire our students to take on these challenges, to find creative solutions to make an impact. And as students, you must consider what opportunity will you seize and prepare yourself to do the work. and then do it. The next quote comes from a friend and colleague of mine who lives in a village where we work in Ghana, in the Brahmahapa region. Manu is a respected member of the community. He's a successful farmer and good friends with the chief. We were working together on a project to teach low-cost methods of well drilling. And the way that it works is you pound a piece of pipe into the ground with your hand on top of it, working as a valve, and you pour water into the hole, and with each stroke, a spurt of water comes up and the soil is forced out of the pipe and the hole gets deeper and deeper. Manu had generously let us practice on his mango farm. After one particularly large blast of water, Manu was completely drenched head to toe. And I turned to him and I said, "Oh, Manu, I'm so sorry." And he scraped the mud off his face and he said to me, "You cannot do this work if you fear mud." And I love that. You cannot do this work if you fear mud. Innovation, entrepreneurship, creativity, development, design, these are elusive concepts that are difficult to teach. They are messy. There is no clear, correct answer. It is difficult to evaluate. And you cannot do this work if you fear mud. But there's an excitement to it and a challenge. I love this conference because it's where we share with each other all the different ways that we have come up with to meet this challenge. Every time I come here, I go back with new things to bring into my classroom to share with my students and my colleagues back at MIT. So this is a field where the opportunities for inspiration and impact are great. And I think that all of us are here in one way or another because we love mud. Make sure that you're doing work that you love, so that when you find yourself working 15 to 20-hour days a week for weeks on end, it's something you truly believe in. In this country, most of us have the luxury of choosing what we work on. We can choose a project or a program or a job that aligns with our skills, our personalities, our experiences, and our passion. I've been really fortunate to find a way to combine all the things that I care about and that I think are important. And I think we all should choose wisely about where we direct our energy and our resources. So in closing, I just want to leave you with this. Let's make the world a better place. Let's get to work, let's get muddy, and let's do what we love. Thank you.